What's going on, guys? Zane here, back with another video. For this one, we're going to go over Leet code problem number 953, which is verifying an alien dictionary. So this one's classified as easy, but I had a miserable time with it, and I'm hoping that I can talk this one out and hopefully help someone by kind of spinning it in a different way. I did a lot of research on this, so it's not like I'm doing this immediately and I know how to do it. It's just that I'm going to try talking it out and see if my future self finds any use of this video. Hopefully I'll help someone else out too. But anyway, let's get to the problem. So we're given a bunch of words here, and we're also given a string called order, and that is just the alien alphabet. So ours is obviously ABC all the way to XYZ, but here we're given what the alphabet's going to be. So when tackling this problem, I had no idea where to start. So after doing some research, I found a great way to start, which is mapping our alphabet with the alien one. So this is the alien one, this is the other alien one. So these are the three different cases here. So that's what we're going to do first. But very first, I'm going to actually rename this to alien alphabet because that just makes more sense to me. And what we'll do now is let's create a public int array. That's going to be our alphabet. And that's just going to be some new int array of size 26 because 26 letters in the alphabet. And now down here, what we're going to do is we're going to now map our alphabet with the alien alphabet. So let's first loop through the alien alphabet. Oh my. And now we'll say that our alphabet at the alien alphabet at the character that we're at minus A is going to equal that particular index. So what this is doing is at the alien alphabet at the index that we're at, that is going to be subtracted with A, which gives us the index that it's supposed to be in our alphabet. And so that is now mapping it to our alphabet at that location being I. Hopefully this makes a little bit more sense later on, but this was like a big part of it in terms of understanding how to tackle the issue. We're mapping our alphabet to the alien alphabet. So now that we have it all mapped here, now we need to do the actual check to see is the I guess the set of words, is it sorted in alien alphabetical order or lexicographical order? That's this word here. So what we'll do is we'll loop through the words. So we'll say for int I equals 0, I is less than words dot length I plus plus, and we'll say that if something, do something, otherwise we'll just return true. So in what case would this return false? So we need to compare the words, right? And we need to see, okay, after doing the comparison with the words, what are we going to output that will tell us whether or not it's true or false? So I'm thinking there's some value that we can establish that if the value is either greater than 0 or less than 0 or not 0, then return false. Otherwise, we'll return true. So what we can do is we can do, we'll create a function for this because I think it'll get a little bit too wild if we put it all here. But let's do compare words as our function, and that'll take in two words. So it'll take in word 1, word 2. And we still need to do this, so I'm just going to make sure. And it's going to compare the word that is previous to it and the word that we're at. So we'll do I equals 1 for that. And then if whatever value comes out of this, if this is greater than, equal to, or less than, whatever the case is, then we'll have it return false. So basically we're trying to figure out what are we going to do here that will return some value that will make it return false. So I know this is probably a little bit more confusing, but I'm kind of just talking things out now and probably making things more confusing. But anyway, let's figure out what this compare words function is going to do. So let's create another function, and it's going to return an integer, and we'll call this compare words, and it's going to take in two words. So word 1 and word 2. They're going to be two strings. Now here, what we'll do is we'll create a pointer in a sense. We'll start with I, and we'll do a J, and we'll do some comparator value, and that will also be equal to 0. All three are going to be equal to 0, and this is going to make sense now when the whole purpose here is we're going to be traversing through these words and making sure that the values are properly in order. In order to do that, we can do a while loop. So we'll say while I is less than word1 dot length, and j is less than word2 dot length. Then we can say that the comparator value, the comparator value is going to equal our alphabet at word1 dot char at I minus a, subtracting that by the same thing almost, but this time it'll be word2 dot char at j minus a. Once we have the comparative value set here, then we'll just increment both I and j, and then we'll jump out here, and now we'll say that if the comparator value is equal to 0, meaning it's all sorted, then we can just return, let's see, what are we going to return here? We'll return word1 dot length subtracted by word2 dot length. I think that's actually wrong, but let's figure this out. The whole point of this is I'm talking it out, so bear with me here. So if that's the case, otherwise we'll just return whatever the comparator value told us. Return comparator value. Okay. What we also need to do a check for here is while I is less than word1 dot length and j is less than word2 dot length, and the comparator value is equal to 0, because we want it to be sorted while we do all this. So the moment it's no longer sorted or we get out of bounds here, then we'll jump out. Now, when we jump out, and if the value is still 0, then great. We just return the difference between these as the comparator value, which is kind of like the same thing as what our function is returning. Otherwise, we return whatever the comparative value is, and we hope to God that that is sorted, which should be 0. Anyway, so now that we have that value, now we can go back here to our confusing part. And we'll say if the value of the compare words function, when we compared word 1 and word 2, if the value of this is going to be greater than 0, then we can return false. So let's actually see if running this does anything first. Dot for int I equals 0 is less than alien-alphabet dot length. Is that it? Okay. If compare words, cannot find cell, compare words. Do I have this? Whoa. Compare words. If compare words word 1 and word 2, oh duh, I just put the same ones in here. So what we're doing is we're comparing the previous one with our current one. And let's run that. What's the issue here? So word 1 dot length compare lol. Okay. Comparator value, comparator. Let's try that. And we have an issue still. I'm assuming it is this here. And we're missing a return statement here, so we don't need an else here, so we can just probably take this out. And let's probably do that. Okay, run. Compiler issue. Oh, did I have it on the wrong one? Sorry guys, as you can tell, I am absolutely garbage. So line 20 over here. Oh, okay. Oh, I just had it in the wrong spot. Okay, let's try that. We've got it accepted. Let's run this. Success. 119 out of 119. Cool. So let's do a quick recap here. What really helped was being able to, what we're doing here is we're first establishing our alphabet as the map that we're going to be using. Then we're mapping our alphabet to the alien one using the subtracting by a thing, which is a cool thing. Like, I didn't know that existed. How awesome is that? And then we're going through every single word starting from I equals 1 because we're going to compare the previous one. And if the comparator value is greater than 0, meaning we're out of sorted order or out of order, then we return false. Otherwise, we return true. Now, this gets some value that represents whether or not our strings are sorted. And that goes down here, which is basically a pointer that we have where the comparator value is compared to make sure that it equals 0. If it does not equal 0, then we jump out here and return the comparator value, which will basically not be 0, meaning it's not sorted. Otherwise, it'll just continue to keep going until we reach a value of 0. Then we can just return word 1.length minus word 2.length, and that'll be passed back into this main driver code here. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope that made some sense. If it didn't, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always trying to figure out how I can articulate things better. And I think that's definitely the biggest goal here. We're all trying to do problem-solving stuff. We're all trying to, nail our coding interviews. So I think it'd be great to get some feedback from you guys. Otherwise, if you liked the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And I think that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.